William Hill sponsors Martin vs. Joshua on Sky Sports Box Office.
Radio Raheem here with Conor Benn. You are now a professional fighter being represented by Matchroom. You got an announcement here in front of the press, like you're starting really fast. You know what I mean? You're not really having to work your way into this spot. So with a fast start like that comes pressure. Are you feeling any increased pressure now that you're on the world stage and the press is, going to be critical of your every move?
No, I don't feel pressure at all. I've got to enjoy every minute of it and soak it all up like a sponge. Because the team I got around me, Eddie Hearn, Tony Sims and my dad, they obviously think I'm ready for this. My confidence comes in my team. I've only had 20 amateur fights, I ain't a confident fighter. But if Eddie Hearn, Tony Sims and my dad said, look mate, you're ready, that's where my confidence comes from.
When your dad was announcing you and talking about you becoming a Matchroom fighter, just everyone's surprised he got that lump in his throat. He got choked up a bit. What do you think that was about?
Well, it's all happened so quick. It's a different thing leaving home, and still being in the same state or being in the same country. No, I've moved across the other side of the world, thrown in the deep end, signed with the biggest boxing promoter in England, to then be fighting on one of the biggest shows in boxing at the age of 19. Well, that's why he got choked up. He's overwhelmed and he's happy and he's prideful about his son.
Now, he says that he's not going to be involved in your career firsthand. You're your own man, all of these things. But really, you're his son at the end of the day. And every son wants to, if not grow into what his father was, and best him. What is it in you that made you want to be a fighter, and how much did that have to do with your father being a fighter?
It had nothing to do with my dad being a fighter. Nothing to do with it. I just love fighting. And back then when I looked at it, boxing was a legal way to do it. That's really how I looked at it. I love fighting. I weren't even a boxer back then. I'll just, throw punches just because I like the adrenaline rush. And now it's sunk in. It's sunk in. Oh, I can actually be good at this. I can actually carry on the Benn legacy, be privileged to carry on the Benn legacy. I'm blessed.
Now, he said that originally he didn't want you to be a fighter. He wanted you to take a different path. Was that a difficult conversation, or how did it come about where he realized, you know what, I'm not going to get my way, my son's going to be a fighter?
Nah, if I was pants, he'd say, look, son, your pants, leave it. Do you know what I mean? But he said, look, I can't let this talent go to waste. Do what you got to do, son. Do what you got to do, son. Make sure you're fully dedicated. And it was really when I come here where it really began for me. I had something to fight for, leaving my family behind. That's what's getting me up at 5 in the morning. Thinking of my little brother who, I miss. I'm gonna miss his childhood growing up. I want him to say, oh, okay, now I understand. Now I understand, to be able to bless them. Because I know they look up to me, and that's really where it comes to. I'm the oldest in my family.
As a father is always looking out to protect his son, always hoping that nothing happens to him. But your father seems not to be ready to hang those gloves up again. Like, he wants to take them off the wall and step in that ring. Does that concern you all? Are you worried about your father fighting again?
At the end of the day, as I said, if you've got that fighter instinct in you, it's with you for life. It's with you for life. He has nothing left to prove. He's 20 years later, he's still a legend. People still talk about him. The media, the public still want to know what's going on in his life, and that shows what legend is and how good he done in his career. But it's something in you that you just can't tame. And if he wants to have it, well, I can't tell him not to. He's still going to have it. But I think he should give it a rest. He lives a privileged life. In a 6-bedroom mansion in Australia. Why do you need to fight? You have nothing to prove to the media. You got a beautiful family you got to look after. Let me do the work. That's it.
And lastly, with the Benns now fighting in the second generation and the Eubanks fighting in the second generation, the rivalry cannot be avoided. What do you think about Chris Eubank? How do you assess his skills and match him against yours?
Junior.
Junior, of course.
He's definitely a world-class athlete. I do rate him. I think he's brilliant talent. Like father, like son. He's exact spitting image of his dad. We'll find out April 9th whether I'm a spitting image of my dad.
William Hill has laid odds to when you're going to get a championship strap around your waist. They've got it at 1 to 5, 2025. will be the year that you become champion. Does that seem like a long time to you?
Yeah, I mean, listen, give it 3 years.
3 years.
Give it 3 years and I'll be up there. Yeah, I'll be up there, mate.
All right, well, now you know where to put your money when you go to William Hill and bet on when this guy's going to have a strap around his waist. Conor Benn is now being represented by Matchroom, your professional fighter. Good luck on your debut, April 9th at the O2 Arena in London. Don't miss it. Radio Raheem, Conor Benn.